Hey, in today's video I'm going to introduce you to a number of painting techniques that will come in useful with your painting. I'm going to be using the primary colours plus white, so white, yellow, red, cool red and phthalo blue. I've got myself a palette and a mixing tray. I'm going to start by blending two primaries, starting with yellow, applying some yellow with a flat brush, then choosing a different flat brush and applying my red. The colour that these two will make is the secondary colour orange, and while the two paints are open, I blend up and down with my red brush. The red is a stronger, darker colour, so now I'm working back over with the yellow brush and going over the top of each other to create the orange and mixing the orange on the actual canvas itself. Now the first layer of paint, the canvas can be quite thirsty. It's filling up all the little holes on the canvas. So I'm just dipping some more red paint onto there and working my way up and down, and then getting the brush that had the orange on it and working up and down. The more you go up and down, the more it will blend together. And then I'm just getting some more yellow paint and working back over the yellow. Another way of blending colours is by mixing the two primaries to make the orange. So then I can go yellow, orange and red. Now blending technique is great for transitioning between two colours, three colours, and we want to try and get a smooth transition from one colour to another. This is one of the techniques that you want to be able to use in all of your painting, is some blending. Here you can see that I'm using the three mixed colours and just putting some colour down first, and then I'm going to mix them in between. Usually what I do is blend the colours together on the first layer, like I have in these two examples, using a few different brushes. Try and keep your brushes clean and separate. Then I like to dry them and then create a second layer. The second layer is where your blending will look much better, because you've filled up all the little holes, all the little bumps in the canvas, and this will be a more smooth gradation and the colours will be more opaque. The other option you can do is not only can you blend two colours together, you can blend different tints and different shades to create going from white in this example to light blue to dark blue. And you again want to use a number of brushes. The blue is quite strong and it will so you don't need much blue. So I've used some blue, and you can be a little bit free once you start getting used to how paint moves around and how you can blend. You can be a little bit loose and textured. Another great option is to use a fan brush. In this example, I'm loading one half up with white and the other half up with blue, and I'm going up and down. If you find that yours isn't coming off smoothly, you can gently dip your brush into clean water and that will help as well. Just adding a bit of darker blue to the side. The next great technique that is awesome is dry brush with minimal paint on a round brush. You can scumble around little circles, and as you move away it will blend because less paint is coming off your brush. This is great for texture and different effects in your painting. Next technique is Sgraffito. What a great technique. Apply a colour underneath and let it dry. And then we can apply a wet colour over the top, and while the paint is wet we can scratch back into it with the end of a paintbrush or some other tool that you want. If you're not happy with it and you're quick enough, while the paint is still wet, you can paint back over it to create other textures. This is great for creating some effect in your work. Here you can see I'm using lots of little circles. This could create pattern and interest in your design. You've got to make sure that your paint is not dry. Once it's dry, you can't scratch back through it as easy. Stenciling is another technique that is great. Minimal paint on your stencil and it will create a clear, clean stencil print. Too much paint, like in this example, it can go underneath and smudge underneath. Another way to do stenciling is using a sponge. This intricate design is quite tricky because the sponge can go underneath. But if you're careful with lots of practice, you can create some excellent effects. You can create repeatable patterns in your artwork. It can create some more decoration and can look quite effective. Once you have finished using the stencils before the paint dries, great idea to gently run it under, put it in the sink and run it under some water with a cloth and clean it off. How do you know when your painting is dry? Please don't touch it, you'll smudge the paint. Hold it up to the light, and if it's reflecting the light, it means it's wet because water reflects light. So keep drying it with the hairdryer until it goes dull. This next technique is glazing. We water down the paint and we can work over the top of other colors in our painting to create some cool effect. This is great in water and other subtle variations. You can see here I'm working over the top of some creamy sort of color and also the white. It gives a translucent effect. Scraping is an awesome technique as well. You can use cardboard, a scraper, a spatula, whatever, something flat. You can apply the paint directly to your piece of cardboard or the scraping tool, or you can apply it directly onto the canvas as well. Here you can see I'm just loading up with a palette knife some different colors to see what will happen. You can scrape in different ways. Here I'm just going straight up and down, and you can see the effect that I've got there. If I was to go over it more and more and more, we get more of a smoother blend. Now remember, colors that are next to each other on the color wheel will blend together. So try and think about that when you're placing and scraping as well. Okay, and you can go different directions. You can wait for it to dry. Any of the techniques in this video you can combine with each other to create some really cool paintings. As you can see, the more and more I scrape, the more and more it blends together to create a different color. So sometimes I like just going over once or twice and then that's enough. Scumbling is a technique where a thin, semi-transparent layer of paint is applied over a dry layer, allowing the underlayer to show through. This creates a soft, broken color effect. Very similar sort of style to the dry brush technique where you go over another color. Collage is another technique that we could use in our painting, combining different materials such as paper, fabric, photos, painted examples that we've already done, anything, and we can glue them down in interesting ways. I like to use PVA glue when I'm collaging. And it's a bit of a messy job, but it can be quite fun as well. As you can see here, I've cut some strips to create a pattern. You can also rip, do whatever you like, and then just work over it with some PVA glue. Impasto, creating texture. In this case, I'm using modeling compound and a scraper, and it's like a paste where you can spread it out and you can create some excellent texture. How you apply the texture is how it will dry. This can add depth and effect to your work. You can scrape it back through. Any impasto that you don't use, you just put back into the container. Here I'm using a comb to create some lines and details. The beauty about impasto is if you don't like it, you just flatten it off again. Here's a comb. So put any bits that you want back in and you can flatten it out again. Here I've just created some lines. Once the impasto is dry, which can take a while, you can paint over it a color. In this case, I'm painting some darker blue. Once that's dry, use a hairdryer to speed up the process. You can lightly go over the top with paint. Yeah, as you can see, I've got some white, and the white is picking up the high highlights and leaving the recessed areas the original blue colour. That can kind of look cool to create some texture in your work. Another one is tape or painter's tape, masking tape. You can use whatever you like. When you place it down, you can put it in a pattern. You can also cut the tape into other shapes that you might like. And it is a great way to build up some layers in your painting and add some extra interest. So you could create stripes, patterns, all sorts. So once the paint layer is dry underneath, we can paint over the top. And where we paint over the top of the tape is going to act as like a block out reverse stencil. And we can dry that and then we can peel the tape off. And you can see that I've created some interesting textures here and some lines, some yellow lines. All the underpainting has come through. Spattering is a great technique. We can load up a brush with watered down paint and we can gently tap it to create some splattering. This is awesome for stars in space pictures. Okay, another option is to use a paintbrush, dip it into your paint, dip it into some water and you can flick it off. This creates more of a finer splattering effect. We could mask off some areas if we didn't want to get it everywhere. Wet on wet is a great technique, mainly for watercolor painting, but we can use it in our acrylic painting. Here I've put some water down first, and then I'm watering down my paint and letting the water make the paint run over the canvas. This can look quite effective in our paintings. Remember the blending rule, colors that are next to each other will blend in together. So the water's doing the work here. If you've got too much water on your canvas, you can get a dry brush or a cloth or a tissue to get that off. Here you can see I'm just using a brush to remove some of the water. Don't use a hairdryer when it's wet because it will go everywhere. Palette knife. There's lots of different types of palette knives. Palette knife painting is great to create bold textured strokes, and it's often used for creative, expressive, abstract artwork. So you might like to use this in your work to create some texture. Here you can see I'm just dabbing some colors around, and I'm going from sort of white to yellow to sort of red with a bit of orange through there. The more you go over it with the palette knife, the more it'll blend together. But if you want some variation, just go over it gently, like I am in this example. See, when you smear it around, it blends in a bit more. Obviously the red is quite dominant. That's the case with paint. The darker the color, the more dominant it is over lighter colors. Here you can see I'm adding some white back through it to create a bit of interest and effect. Okay, one of the most important things about painting is not only how you apply the paint, but looking after your brushes. Don't just hold your brush up in the water. Make sure you dab it against the bottom of the sink gently and let the water run in until there is no paint coming out. If you don't wash your brushes properly, a lot of the paint gets stuck up the top where the bristles go into the metal part, the ferrule. You do not want paint in there because if it goes hard, it's pretty much your brush is useless. So here's a couple of techniques. Use your fingers if you like, dab it on the bottom of the sink, and that's how we clean brushes. There you have it, some painting techniques to get you started. These are all introduction techniques. Good luck and be creative, have fun. I'll see you in the next video. Cheers, thanks, bye, see ya.